Hello and welcome. This is going to be my review of the Mora knife, the Bushcraft Black as it's called. We're going to jump in there with some stats. The overall length of this Bushcraft knife is 9.2 inches or 23.4 centimeters. The blade length is 4.2 inches or 10.9 centimeters. The cutting length is the same at 4.2 inches or 10.9 centimeters. The weight is 4.3 ounces or I think it's 124.4 grams, and the weight with the sheath is 5.8 ounces or 165.3 grams. Just a little point to make out as well. The blade thickness is 3.2 millimeters. Okay, here it is. It's got a really nice black finish to it. It's a Mora knife. If you don't know anything about Mora knives of Sweden, definitely go on their website. It's very interesting. They've been making knives since 1891, they say, and they know how to make knives. They're very popular with bushcrafters all over Europe. They're just very decent knives for the money. They're priced very reasonably. We'll go over some features, talk a little bit about the sheath first. Yeah, it's a decent sheath. It's got this belt loop, I suppose, that kind of turns. It's got some, I'd say, jimping there at the top. It's just a kind of plastic, kind of Kydex type of sheath. The knife goes in there quite snugly, locks in there. It's not going to come out with much pressure. Yeah, it's an okay sheath. The knife itself, it's, like I say, made in Sweden. It's Mora Knives, or Morakniv, however you want to pronounce that. It's with this high carbon knife. They say it's one of their most sturdy knives they've ever made. And the black coating on this Bushcraft Black is actually to enhance the resistance against corrosion. So it is functional why it has this black coating on it. Okay. If you've ever get a chance to pick one of these up and have a look at it, the top is quite sharp really, and that's because if you've got a fire starter, a fire rod or something, you can actually use this to well, you wouldn't do that. You'd do that, and you'd pull your rod away, and it's sharp so that you can use the spine of this knife to create some quite nice sparks in a survival situation, or just bushcrafting. Okay, the handle it's a rubber handle. It's quite grippy. It's a very ergonomic. It's quite comfortable. It has some rubber ribs on the top, I'd say, and some on the bottom, and some on where your pinky is. So it's got some grip on it. When wet, I'd say that's quite grippy as well. The blade shape is kind of a clip point shape. It's a Scandi grind, which means it's grind just down at the bottom towards the belly, and the same on the other side. It's very functional blade grind. It's quite strong. It's easy enough to sharpen, I suppose. If you're out there and you've got a pocket sharpener, you could sharpen this. It takes an edge quite well. It is high carbon. This Bushcraft Black has been kind of heat treated, I suppose, and make it even more harder on the Rockwell hardness scale. It's about 59 or 60. So even though it's quite hard steel, it's decent enough to sharpen and to hold an edge for a while. Not quite sure whether it's full tang. I mean, it doesn't really say anywhere on the website. I suppose you could always phone them up and find out, but the weight of it doesn't, to me, it just doesn't feel like it is full tang. Not an issue. I've never seen anyone completely break away the blade from the handle, so I don't think that is much of an issue. I mean, you're not going to be batoning an oak with this thing. It's a great EDC everyday carry kind of bushcraft knife. If you like bushcrafting, you could take this out for the weekend. Absolutely fine. It's fit for purpose. I don't think you have any problems with the police if you are going to a woods and where you are allowed to practice bushcraft and use it. This is, I mean, this is fit for purpose. This is what it's meant to do. It's meant for bushcrafting. Even though, yes, it is a fixed blade knife, carrying this around your local supermarket would definitely get you arrested. The price of this is very good for a useful camping knife. It's about £35. I think that's excellent value. You're getting a high carbon steel knife that's comfortable, that's light, and it's just excellent for bushcraft, in my opinion. I mean, they're quite legendary knives, these Mora knives. Yeah, I can't really see many faults with this one at all. We'll just do some comparison shots, okay? So can't really get my lighting right today. Bear with me. So that's the bushcraft knife. Just this is purely for size comparison. This isn't which is better or whatever. Here's a Spyderco Tenacious for the people that have one of those, and a Spyderco UK PK. We'll also do a comparison with a pen knife. Here's a pen knife next to it. So it gives you a rough idea of like the size of one of these Mora knives, okay, and how big the blade is as well. Okay, so there you have it, the Mora Bushcraft Black. There are plenty of other videos. It's worth mentioning that. Do look at other people's videos in the search bar, because just to get a different perspective and different views from other owners. There's just a close-up of the black finish. A small little point I'd like to make out before this video ends is where it goes into the sheath. It does, as you can see, it does rub along the rubber handle. Might not be much of an issue, but I just thought I'd make that observation out. But that's just me nitpicking. Okay. If you've enjoyed this video, please comment, rate and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Take care.